Hello everyone! Today we're going to be doing a project inspired by the artist Ted Harrison, who was born in England and he moved to Canada in 1967. He painted the Yukon's wild mountains, rivers, and northern lights with bright colors and bold wavy lines, making his joyful art famous around the world. Here are just a few examples of his artwork. Now here's an example of our Ted Harrison inspired piece that we'll be doing today. Let's dive right in. All right everyone, we're going to start out with just our pencils and paper, and we're going to do about 10 minutes of drawing, and then the rest of the time you'll have to color. So first thing, take your finger and locate your first knuckle on your finger and line that knuckle up with the bottom of your page. That's where you're going to start your first wave. It's right at the tip of your finger there. You're going to go across like this. Okay. Make another wave about the same distance above. It goes like this. Okay, if some of you are still working on that, then pause here. Otherwise, let's keep going. You're going to find a fish stencil, and we're going to tuck him into bed underneath the wave, like the wave is his blanket. Okay, we're going to do it on the right-hand side here. See how part of his body is underneath the wave line and the rest is above. Okay? So we are going to trace the part of his body that is above the line. Now when you're tracing, it's easier if you hold your pencil straight up and down. If you hold it to the side, it's going to slip under your paper and cause problems. So hold it straight up and down, right up against that stencil, and work your way around. Okay? And see how he looks like he's tucked under the wave? If you forget and do the part that's underneath the wave too, that's okay. Go ahead and erase that part. But you can pause until you get that part done. All right, we're gonna keep going. Gonna draw a wave above the whale this time, or fish. Like so. And we're gonna do one more wave here. Okay, now you can have a little fun. Pick a fish or a boat, or make up something else. I've given you some boat stencils as well that you can use. Or you can put in another fish up here, maybe even coming out of the water. It's up to you. I'm gonna do my boat as if it's crashing down into a wave here. Again, only trace the part that is above the wave. Like so. Okay. I'm gonna make some details of the boat here. You can do whatever you like. Okay, go ahead and pause until you get that part done. All right, now we're gonna finish our sky up and get to coloring. So we're gonna do a sun a different way than you're used to. Don't worry about making a perfect circle. We're actually gonna make it look like a cracked egg. Okay, so go ahead and do that off to the right a bit in the sky. Okay, then you're gonna do another circle around, kind of wavy. Okay, then you're just gonna act as if you're doing a huge circle around and it's going off your paper and back on like that. And you can add one more line if you like, but it's up to you, not necessary. All right, pause until you get all the drawing done. Not because we're going to start coloring next. Okay, now we're ready for coloring. You want to get your warm colors out. Those are the colors that you think of when you're warm, like the sun. So you have yellows, oranges, reds, right? And you're going to start with your lightest one first, your yellow, and work your way out to the darkest. Okay, now your yellow is going to start right in the middle. And a good trick with working with markers is to outline what you're coloring first and then fill it in. It's a lot easier to not go out of the lines that way. Okay, see, I'm working through lightest to darkest. Okay, go ahead and pause until you get the whole sky done. All right, now before we get rid of our warm colors here, you're gonna pick one to color the fish. Okay, pause until that's complete. All right, now you're gonna take away those warm colored markers. You're gonna bring in your cool colors, some blues for the water. I'm gonna put a board underneath so I don't get it all over here. All right, and I'm going to start with my darkest color first and color in the bottom wave. And I'm gonna work my way up to the lightest color being at the top. Okay, pause until you get your water colored in. Okay, now it's just the finishing details. I'm gonna use my darker blue to give my fish an eye. And I'm gonna do a few details on my boat as well. All right, everyone, that's the finished piece. Hope you had fun. teachers and volunteers, please make sure first and last names are written in pencil only on the back. If they do it in markers, it'll bleed through, so please make sure it's in pencil. And also include the teacher's name. So first and last name and teacher's name. Thanks so much, everyone.